This episode of Wine and Crime is brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies.
Try it at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Breaking news! Boston Wine Coven, we are coming to your city.
We're coming to Boston.
We're coming to Boston. We have a jam-packed weekend planned, starting with a live show at the gorgeous, incomparable Virginia Wimberley Theater on Friday, July 18th. And listen, you know I have a lot of family and friends in Boston, so you're going to want to...
They're very loud.
They're loud and they are hungry for wine and crime, so you're going to want to snag your seats before they freaking take them all. The show is very, very likely to sell out. VIP ticket holders get preferred seating, a signed gals poster, and access to the post-show Q&A. And if you are an Uncorked subscriber, keep an eye on your email because we're going to be sending you an exclusive pre-sale link to get the best spots first. So snag your tickets either through that pre-sale link as an Uncorked subscriber or head to our website, wineandcrimepodcast.com. But wait, there's more.
There's so much more.
So much more.
We are so thrilled to be attending the True Crime Podcast Festival in Boston on July 18th through 20th, 2025. This is the only festival that brings together true crime creators, experts, and advocates to promote compassion, empathy, and respect in the stories we tell and consume. It's very important. We're having the conversations that need to be had.
Listen, I'm doing a panel on Luigi Mangione and the media, so you're not going to want to miss it.
No.
It's going to be buck.
This immersive weekend is packed with live podcasts, panel discussions, the Luigi Mangione thing with Amanda, meet and greets with some of the most talented creators and fierce advocates in the true crime space. I am so thrilled. We were at this festival last year in Denver. Mm-hmm. So many great people.
Oh my God. It was honestly unbelievable and so intimate an experience. Like, we are just sitting in a room with all of y'all, like talking face to face and really breaking down these cases. It's really incredible.
Plus, if you go VIP, you'll get exclusive access to private meet and greets and a catered social where you can just mingle with your favorite creators. It's so fun. Tickets are selling fast and hotel rooms are booked up quickly, so do not wait on this. Use our exclusive code COVEN for 20% off and grab your spot now at truecrimepodcastfestival.com.
We'll see you in Boston!
See you in Boston!
Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accent.
Oh, yeah.
We do. I'm Lucy.
I'm Amanda.
Well, gosh, I think we have a fun episode for today.
Yeah.
Is yours fun? Mine's fun.
Mine's less fun. No one, dies, but there's certainly wrongdoing that is unsettling financially.
Oh,
It's just, I mean, I'm not going to lie, a little impressed with how funds were allocated. Go off, girl.
Okay.
But the community, not so happy about it.
Great. Well, I think we'll have a good raucous episode today.
Oh, yeah.
We'll make it raucous. And no one's gonna die, I don't think. I don't think I have any death.
No, thank God. For once.
For once, I'm not talking about a cannibal or like an architecture fail or
a child dying. Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
The world's dark enough.
The world is dark enough. So today we have a very special fan pick from Angelina Allaback.
Thank you, Angelina.
Allaback girl. Angelina
Allaback girl.
Angelina has chosen the topic of Mayoral Mayhem.
Mm-hmm. And provided us with their recommended cases, which I very much appreciate. Very much.
Yes, I definitely took Angelina's nudge in her initial email and fucking went with it.
Glad you did.
Glad I did too. Also, I do want to say, Angelina, a week ago, we got an email from somebody else.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up because this is wild.
A different fan picker from who qualified at the tier on Uncorked for a fan pick, which is $25 a month. It's nothing. Also chose Mayor Crimes.
Yep.
I was like, you
are not going to
believe this, but
we're recording that episode in 3 days.
Yeah.
Already been picked.
And then that person wrote back and was like, well, fuck.
Because it wasn't that fan picker like I am a mayor or like I was a mayor.
That person is like an unofficial mayor of like a neighborhood. I think somewhere on the West Coast, I think.
I'm sorry we can't do exactly your pick, but I know we're going to put together something amazing for you.
Well, shout out to that person and shout out to Angelina for snagging this topic before anyone else could.
Seriously, it pays to send your fan pick email in early.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once you're at that tier, go ahead and shoot us that email so we can get you scheduled. Scheduled, if you will.
Because I won't be following up with you.
It's too much.
Just being honest here.
Well, yeah, it's hard for us to track everybody at that tier who has or hasn't submitted one.
It's impossible.
It's in your best interest when you sign up for that tier to just go ahead and email us and be like, hey, I just signed up. That way we can cross-check and confirm it and then get you on the schedule.
And I just love the fan picks because
they're so
you guys
fun.
Are weird.
Yeah, y'all
Mayoral Mayhem. Two of you, Mayoral Mayhem.
Y'all are wacky. And we love it. But I have to say, I really do appreciate that this is a fan pick episode that isn't like devastating.
Yes.
My God.
More white collar mischief.
Let's take it.
Let's take it. Well, before we get to our mayhem caused by mayors, Amanda, what is our wine crime pairing for Mayoral Mayhem?
Well, our girl Angelina also wanted us to shout out. They live in the Chicago area, and so they have a local Chicago fave, the Koval Distillery, Koval. And my God, is their branding gorgina.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They have whiskey, they have gin, they have liqueurs. They have this right featured on their landing page of their website is a cranberry liqueur, like cranberry gin liqueur that I want to get so bad for holiday cocktails.
Yum.
Get out of here.
Oh,
so let me tell you a little bit.
Chrysanthemum and honey liqueur.
Right?
What the hell? This is amazing.
Uh-huh.
Tell me more.
Yeah. Okay. So the Koval Distillery crafts a line of whiskey, gin, and specialty spirits using unique organic grains and signature heart cut techniques with only the absolute best quality distillate. Known around the world for its bright, approachable flavors and unprecedented creativity and design, definitely agree with that. Koval has been the recipient of over 100 international awards. They were founded in 2008 by a husband and wife team, Dr. Robert Bernecker and Dr. Sonat Bernecker Hart.
Oh.
Koval began as the first distillery to open in Chicago since the mid-1800s. Prior to starting the distillery, Sonat and Robert had established careers in government and academia, but chose to forge a new path together. I love that. It's never too late to decide, you know what? I want to do something else that's been calling me. Okay.
Absolutely. Follow your passions.
Follow your passions. Their goal with Koval was to marry centuries of tradition from Robert's Austrian distilling heritage with state-of-the-art modern technologies, all with the aim of bringing heightened levels of consistency and creativity to the world of spirits. Koval believes that the best spirits must come from the best ingredients and crafts its entire line from scratch using a grain-to-bottle approach. Every step of the process is closely monitored and managed by Koval. From sourcing grains harvested by trusted farmers to milling, mashing, distilling, aging, and bottling on site. They really are like hands-on.
Yeah, it
which
sounds
I
like
think
it.
is so important to the process of making sure you're getting a like high quality final product. And with all the awards they've gotten, it makes sense that they're doing it this way. Koval means smith or blacksmith in many Eastern European languages. However, in Yiddish, it has the added meaning of someone who, quote, forges ahead. Koval is homage to Sonat's great-grandfather, who earned it as a nickname when he dared to move from turn-of-the-century Vienna to the U.S. to start a new life from scratch, while it also honors Robert's grandfather, from whom he learned to distill, as his family name is Schmid, the German equivalent of Koval. How fun!
Cute.
Koval's founders have also used their experience and knowledge to educate thousands of people in the art of craft distilling. Through their consulting with Koth Distilling Technologies, they have helped set up hundreds of new distilleries all around the world, ushering in a new wave of craft spirits internationally. They serve as ambassadors for the industry, maintaining close ties with various trade organizations, special interest groups, and government officials to ensure that independent craft brands continue to receive support and opportunities to thrive around the world. That is super fucking cool.
Cheers to you, Koval.
Yeah, seriously, big time cheers. You can visit their distillery. They do offer tours. You can rent their space for events. They have an absolutely stunning tasting room and distillery store. And then there's also a Buy Koval tab. So you can see they have a store locator of where you can get it, retailers of where you can get it. You can also shop in the store. I think they do offer some delivery. It'll depend on where you live, what your access to it is, but this place looks amazing. And the next time we do a show in Chicago, I really want to go to their tasting room and try some
Add
cocktails.
it to our list.
Yeah, add it to your list.
Document I made.
Because we've been getting some really fun recommendations, especially in the wine pairings of people being like, check, you know, this is my favorite winery in my area, or this is this cool distillery or brewery or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Or I work there and we could host a pop-up something or other.
Yeah, we're itching to get back on the road, not just for shows, but for like cool meetup, more intimate events. So if that is something that you have a connection with and you're interested in collaborating with us or hosting us, please send us an email, because we would love to do more of that, to just like hang out with y'all and entertain you.
Yeah. Or if we're already gonna maybe happen to be there.
Yeah.
It'd be just so fun.
Hopefully. So I do not have this. Obviously, I am not in the Chicago area, but in the spirit of our lovely Angelina, I reached for a local libation that I have definitely reached for before on this show. This is Flavor Pixels THC Seltzer from Insight Brewing, a local Minneapolis powerhouse. And I have the orange flavor and 10 milligrams of THC.
Okay.
So this should get fun. Should we crack it?
Let's crack it.
Here we go.
Oh.
Ooh, nice crack.
Very nice crack. You better chug that thing, because
It's so
you're going to
good.
want to giggle through my through my segment.
Oh, I also have a joint here. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think, for those wondering, I think this one that I'm still working on is strawberry cough.
The best kind of cough.
Yeah. And if you are interested in learning about THC strains, check out Leafly, Leafly, easycanvasprint.com. They have a whole fun strain list, and it'll give you kind of a rundown on what the experience is.
I love that.
And they're like all the common strains. So like basically anything that we've grown can be found on there, except there are some fun hybrids in the making right now. Some unique, fun hybrids. So hopefully I can feature those later.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
All right, should we take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors and then dive into Lucy's Giggle Fest? Because I can't wait.
Yes, let's.
Fabulous. So one thing I love about Easy Canvas Prints is that, yes, it's awesome for like personalized gifting, having photos printed of the family, wedding photos, fun gifts, things like that. But I also love it as a business because you can get like cool logo signage, like all kinds of cool stuff, mugs, pillows, like everything that you could think of. Easy Canvas Prints makes it all so easy. You can get affordable and fully customized canvases and photo gifts like photo tiles, mugs, pillows, and more shipped super fast.
Yeah, with hundreds of combinations to choose from, Easy Canvas Prints has the perfect gift for any occasion. Bring your memories to life with Easy Canvas Prints. Order now on www.easycanvasprints.com/gals for a discount on 16 by 20 canvases.
Temps are rising. They're doing it. And I always around this time of year get that urge to refresh my closet because I've been in like sweatpants and sweatshirts and a million layers of just survival clothing in Minnesota for the last, 100 years that winter lasts. But I also don't have like big fun money to go throwing around on a brand new wardrobe. So you can't be wasting money on pieces that you're only going to wear once for like just one season. We got to rethink how we're shopping. And Quince really changes that. Their clothes are timeless. They're lightweight. They're far more elevated than anything else at this price. It finally feels like my wardrobe matches like me being an adult with a job and like having my life together. It's pretty amazing.
I should not be allowed on Quince's website because every single time I even visit the website, I end up with multiple things in my cart.
You have to. It's so good.
They have things like 100% European linen shorts and dresses starting at $30. Luxe swimwear, Italian leather platform sandals.
Oh.
These are just a few specific examples. Quince they have bedding. Mm-hmm. They have so much. The best part is everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. I love how transparent they are. They show like what they could be charging and then it's like half of that. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without that insane markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I am in the middle of packing for our Greece trip.
Yep.
I think that a solid 80% of everything I'm packing is from Quince.
Seriously. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/wine for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/wine to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/wine. Y'all, why are you still dealing with underwire pokes and bras that feel like body armor? Let's not do that anymore. It's time for an upgrade. And if you're wondering where to upgrade to get the best undergarments, look no further than Honeylove, because Honeylove makes the best wireless bras that feel like a second skin. They're lightweight, they're breathable, and they are perfect for hot summer days. You know I'm a sweaty Betty. I want that coverage, I want that lift, I want that comfort, but I also want to be breathing and not be poked in the guts.
Is that too much to ask?
Is that too much to ask? So whether you're rocking a t-shirt, a tank top, a breezy sundress, these bras give you just the right amount of lift without the squeeze, thanks to years of research, development, and testing. They are backed by science, baby. It's the ultimate bra experience. And while we're talking about comfort, look no further than Honeylove's signature support that comes from smart design, not stiff wires or bulky padding. It's all the shape and hold you want without any of the stuff that you don't. Once you try it, you'll honestly forget you're even wearing a bra. I have quite literally fallen asleep in mine. I love wearing them on flights.
Yep.
It's like, I don't look like I'm spilling out of everything, but I feel like I'm wrapped in a comfortable, happy little undergarment. So literally, go ahead and ditch the discomfort, say goodbye to wires, and treat yourself to the summer support that you deserve with Honeylove. For a limited time, you can get Honeylove on sale. Treat yourself to 20% off your entire order by heading to honeylove.com/wine. Support the show and check them out because you deserve this glow up.
My favorite thing about my Honeylove bras is how much it smooths.
Yeah.
Like, the band is a little bit wider, but it doesn't look like you're wearing a bra. It's not pinching you. It's not giving you weird lumps in your back.
The back bulge.
The back bulge. Honeylove's
worst.
bras are designed with back smoothing fabric to prevent that nightmare. You should definitely check out their V-neck bra for a totally smooth fit under your clothes. It offers the support of a traditional bra, but again, without the awful underwire. And it's not going to give you like a shelf chest. You're not going to get that uniboob effect. It's just, it's the nicest thing you can do for your boobies. So treat yourself to the most comfortable and innovative bras on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/wine. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/wine. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in bras with Honeylove.
That was a long ad break because we were chatting.
I know,
Sorry,
well.
guys. You don't know because we have editing. Sorry, John. We're back.
We're back. Okay. Are you ready to find a lot of joy in mayordom?
I just took a nice hit and I feel so much better than I did 10 minutes ago. So
I can
yeah,
tell.
I'm fucking ready.
So in the U.S. and many countries, the mayor is the head of a municipal government and usually the chairman of the municipal council and of council executive committees.
We have a city in Minnesota where a golden retriever has been the commemorative mayor for like years.
We'll get to it.
Yes.
In addition, the mayor may fulfill the roles of chief executive officer, ceremonial figurehead, and local agent of the central government. So that said, there's a wide variety of ways in which a mayor is, number one, elected or otherwise mandated. They're not always elected. And their powers and responsibilities also vary very widely.
Probably depending on the size of their domain.
It depends on the size of their domain and also just the geographic size and also the population.
Yeah, if you're mayor of a town in the middle of nowhere with like 300 people, your responsibilities are probably far less than, say, mayor of Des Moines.
Well, maybe more because the larger cities have like an employed city manager who like is an expert in those things and not a figurehead. You know what I mean? So it kind of, there's a strange balance. And then other like, you know, cities, towns, municipalities have different kinds of infrastructure because, you know, towns sprouted up independently originally. So they have different ways of doing things and it requires different things of mayors in different places. So mayors can be paid or unpaid depending on their duties. But like I said, most municipalities have a paid city manager who is not a political figure.
Right.
The term mayor shares a linguistic origin with the military rank of major, both ultimately derived from French majeur, which in turn derives from Latin major, the comparative form of the adjective magnus.
Okay.
So it's just the person in charge.
Yep.
The primary.
The tap dag.
The tap dag. We'll get to the dags.
Don't forget the dags.
Never. I have some fun mayoral facts for you. These are from rampagelaw.com.
God, the aggression.
Rampage Law.
Rampagelaw.com.
In Tinton Falls. .edu. In Tinton Falls, New Jersey, World War II vet and Mayor Vito Perillo is the oldest U.S. mayor.
How old is he?
As of 2021, he was 97 and in his second term.
Babe!
This reminds me of Congress.
Retire!
Yeah.
Give someone else a chance.
The way that old men just have a vice grip on like their glory days.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of these old turds like to snag a small town city council seat. It's like, for you, it's something to do. But for the rest of us, it's important.
There are real consequences.
Yeah.
Actually, he is quite popular. Residents love the pickleball courts he installed in a local park.
Cute. Okay, I love that. Improving the local parks, check.
Uh-huh. As far as the longest serving mayor, a Boonville, Kentucky mayor named Charles Long served as mayor for 60 years. 60.
His last name is Long, and he served the longest term. This is not real.
I think it is.
His first name was Mayor, and his last name was Long. Good for him.
He hyphenated. He got married and hyphenated to
Mayor Long.
Long Mayor. So this man was born at. Okay, just think of everything that happened in this man's lifetime, let alone his career.
Yeah.
He was born in 1919. He became mayor in 1959, so when he was 40 years old, and served through 2019.
So he served for 60 years. So he was almost 100.
Yeah.
Is he dead now?
He was 100 years old.
Oh my God.
Oh, he died so he died while he was serving mayor at the age of 99.
Oh my God. Honey.
Retire, babes.
I mean, he was clearly doing something right.
Enjoy your twilight years. Is that what they're called? Sunset years?
I don't.
Sundown years? Anyway, yeah. So he died at 99 while serving as mayor. Still.
Good Lord.
The youngest mayor to date is a guy named John Tyler Hammonds. He was elected mayor of Muskogee, Oklahoma in 2008 when he was 19 years old.
Okay, another reason you need to fucking watch Parks and Recreation is
add it to the list.
Adam Scott's character, Ben Wyatt, his legacy, he's from Minnesota, and he was elected. He was the youngest mayor ever elected at 18 years old, and he tanked the city's budget trying to build a winter theme park called Ice Town. And it bankrupt the whole town of Partridge, Minnesota.
Oh no.
And they all hate him forever. He's gone down in the legacy of worst mayors of all time. So he committed his career in city budgeting to make amends for tanking his original town's budget. It's so good. So they just call him Ice Town.
His life.
There's this amazing fake newspaper article from an episode that's Ice Town made Ice Clown, and it's just this young 18-year-old picture of Adam Scott on the front page. It's so fucking good.
All right, well, you finally convinced me to start Parks and Rec.
Well, if they have it on our flight, I'll make you watch it.
They'll take my Unisom.
I'll swap your Unisom with caffeine tablets and make you watch it.
Oh, no.
No one's sleeping tonight.
Ew. I'm going to put Corey between us. I'll just snore you out.
God, I'm bringing my sound-canceling headphones.
Okay, so this 19-year-old elected in 2008. He was re-elected in 2010, and he served until he was the ripe old age of 23 years old in 2012.
And then retired.
Then he went on to go to law school and got his law degree.
Good for him.
I know. He's had lots of experience.
Can you imagine you go to law school after serving your term as mayor? And you're still only 23. 2 terms. And you're only 23 years old. Good God.
The first mayor of New York was a guy named Thomas Willett. I think this was the first mayor in the United States, which was the first mayor of New York. So Thomas Willett. He was born in Norfolk, England in 1610.
Good God.
He sailed the ocean blue, arriving at Plymouth Colony in 1629. God, that is just... And we're about to go to Europe. Everything is so fucking old.
So old.
It's wild. I love it. And he was appointed by Governor Richard Nicolls as mayor in 1665 for many reasons, but one reason was that he spoke fluent Dutch. So he could help ease the transition of this colony from Dutch rule to English rule.
Interesting.
So he could
I imagine New York was just the first city or colonized area that was big enough to require more in-house leadership like a mayor.
Exactly. Yep. John Smith, ever heard of him, was technically the mayor of Jamestown.
Boo. Fuck John Smith.
Yeah. Okay. So perhaps the most delightful fun fact about mayors is described in this 2020 article from Business Insider.
Okay.
There are dogged leaders, and then there are actual dog leaders.
Yes.
Across the U.S., we've found 9 dogs who have been elected mayor. It's not just that one in
9?
Minnesota. Those are just dogs. Small towns in California, Minnesota, Colorado, Kentucky, and San Francisco have all had dog mayors.
Cute.
Mostly, the dogs are figureheads.
But they have to go to ribbon cuttings and stuff.
But that's a figurehead thing. It's
a
saying
jab.
mostly they're not really making decisions.
Can you imagine? Sniff the budget that you want cut.
Their elections are used to raise money for animal shelters or for the towns themselves. Elected dogs also tend to last a long time in office, in dog years.
Yep.
While they're not as controversial as some of their peers, at least one dog leader sparked international headlines and was condemned by China as a sign of failing democracy.
Well, I mean, China's not wrong about condemning any of us here in the States for failing democracy. No. But it's not the dogs. It's the people.
We'll circle back to the Chinese thing.
Incredible.
All right, here we go. A little rundown of some of the canine mayors. We've got Lucy Liu, a border collie. You can also follow along with these photos. They're on the drive. They're labeled by their names.
Oh!
Lucy Liu was the first female mayor of Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. She served from 2008 to 2016. Lucy Liu was the first female mayor of Rabbit Hash and ran on the campaign slogan, "The bitch you can count on."
Oh. Okay, she's gorgeous.
I know.
I love her.
She's stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lucy
She's
Liu.
so cute. Her little smile.
Rabbit Hash is an incorporated community and does not necessarily need a human mayor.
Oh, okay.
Instead, people can pay $1 and vote as many times as they like, and the fundraiser has gone towards town improvements.
Oh, that's really clever.
Mm-hmm. The Border Collie stepped down from her role as mayor to run unsuccessfully for president in 2016, and she died in 2018.
Oh, God, what I wouldn't give to have Lucy Liu instead of who we had in 2016.
Oh, my God. Next up is Bryneth Paltrow.
What a name.
Succeeded Lucy Liu as mayor of Rabbit Hash in 2016, beating out a cat and a donkey.
Oh, damn. All right, girl.
Duke, a Great Pyrenees, was first elected mayor of Cormorant Village, Minnesota in 2014.
We've talked about him on Gossip at the Corpse Cart for sure. I recognize his tiny mayor hat, his little top hat. He is so cute. He's huge.
He's enormous.
He's a man.
He was reelected 3 times.
Goddamn right.
Duke's jobs included hanging out at the local pub, appearing in parades, and keeping the riffraff out. He must have been doing something right. In the 2016 election, every single vote cast was for him, except for one vote that went to his girlfriend named Lassie. He died while in office in February of 2019. Okay, this is one of my favorites.
I hope it's who I'm looking at right now because I love her.
A bloodhound named Pa Kettle was elected mayor of Divide, Colorado in 2014. Pa Kettle won his election beating a donkey, a wolf, a hedgehog, a cat, and many other dogs.
Oh, wow. He is a dapper boy.
Yes.
He looks like McGruff.
Yeah, that's Pa Kettle.
Pa. Good Pa.
It was a narrow victory. He only beat Kenye the wolf by 55 votes.
Damn.
So Kenye became Pa Kettle's vice mayor.
Fuck the wolves. He got that dog in him.
It was announced in 2016 that Pa Kettle would not be running for re-election.
Too much scandal.
Instead, a wolf named Shunka won the election.
Okay, so someone had a literal wolf, or is it like a wolf from a wolf preserve?
It's probably like a reserve, like a nature reserve thing.
Better be.
After 5 months, Shunka passed away and Vice President Peanut took his place. Piper, a Swiss mountain dog, is currently the mayor of Divide.
Vice President Peanut, a second plane has hit.
The second tower's been hit.
I'm so sorry. I know it's not.
I'm picturing the scene in Air Force One after Kennedy was assassinated. When whoever his guy, LBJ, was that his guy? His
I don't
second
know.
Guy?
This is
his
fucking going
Peanut
great.
is taking the oath. And
Vice
Jackie
President
O's
Peanut.
standing there, shocked out of her gourd with
Covered in
blood
blood.
still on her dress.
Swearing in Vice President Peanut. Oh, God, that poor woman went through it.
Yeah. Okay, this is the one that I'm sure you've been waiting for. Frida,
Yeah.
a female Chihuahua, was mayor of San Francisco for one day in 2014.
Okay, first of all, of course it was San Francisco. She's so fabulous. She's literally wearing a pearl necklace.
Yeah.
And also, looking at her facial expression, not surprised she only made it one day. She does
Yeah.
not have time for this.
No, she's busy.
I'm obsessed with her. She has a nail appointment later, and
Yeah.
she will not reschedule.
No.
I love her.
She hasn't had a blowout in days.
No, it's gone too far.
So, Frida became the most powerful dog in San Francisco in 2014 after her owner, Dean Clark, won the honor when he placed the highest bid at a charity gala for the city's Department of Animal Care and Control.
Yeah, this tracks. Frida looks like she comes from money.
According to KPIX5, once in power, Frida called for mandatory belly rubs. Then we have the example of the town of Idlewild, California.
Mm-hmm.
So this town is unincorporated and does not have its own human mayor, like that other town did.
Yeah.
Local political decisions for Idlewild are handled by the Riverside County Board of Supervisors, so the idea for a mayoral election involving animals came from Idlewild Animal Rescue Friends as a novel fundraiser in 2012.
Smart.
They didn't allow any humans to run in this election, and each vote cast cost $1 to go to the animal rescue. I love this concept.
Yeah, it's really
just so fun.
It's really fun. It's wholesome. It's clever. It's money
Getting
going.
people into voting.
Getting people into voting. It's money going to these small towns that need some funding and animal rescue. What's not to love?
Yeah. The first dog to win this election, Maximus Mighty Dog Mueller.
He's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
His little sunken eyes.
I know.
Oh,
He received 21,132 votes,
goddamn right.
defeating the other animal candidates and raising over 31 grand for the animal rescue.
He won by a friggin' landslide.
This established the first in a political dynasty that has continued for 3 generations of golden retrievers.
What?
That's why those pictures are labeled Max 1, Max 2, Max 3.
Oh,
They're all named Max.
they all have sunken eyes.
Yeah, they're golden retrievers.
I guess.
They've also amended the rules to allow the dog mayor to hold office for the remainder of their life. They don't have terms. They're in
Yeah.
office. Just let them be.
Yep.
Let mayoral dogs lie.
How long could it possibly be?
Honestly, a golden retriever.
You're gonna make it what? If you're elected right when you're born, you might make it 14 years.
Maybe. That's a rickety dog mayor.
If you're lucky. Let him have it.
Let him have it. You know, Riverside County Board of Supervisors makes all the decisions anyway.
Yeah.
So, as I suggested, we are currently on the 3rd Mayor Max. Again, this role is mainly as a non-political figurehead, so mostly for photo ops, ceremonies, general town promotion.
I love
And
it.
if you're wondering, you can find more info at mayormax.com.
cute.
So like I said, I did want to circle back to the international controversy with China.
Okay.
So this is from a recent article from the Mercury News, and I think it's like, this happened in California, so I think it's like their local, paper, because this was about, they had some like big anniversary for the events that unfolded recently.
Okay.
So This recounts the origin story of Bosco, dog mayor of Sunol, California, which is a village of fewer than 1,000 residents. So a very small town.
He looks, in the photo I'm seeing, you'll explain it. I'm not going to say anything because something's not right.
That is not him.
I figured.
That's just his likeness. We'll get to it.
Oh, no.
In 1981, the Black Labrador mix beat 2 human candidates for the town's honorary mayorship and served until he died in 1994. So he served for 13 years.
Wow. What a run.
As locals tell it, Bosco's candidacy was a joke that took on a life of its own. Sitting around a local bar one night, 2 men, like regulars at the bar, one named Honest Paul and the other one named Wolf,
Oh, God.
traded barbs about which one should be Sunol's unofficial mayor. Bosco's original owner, a guy named Brad Lieber, who I'm imagining was the bartender, but I don't know. He retorted that Bosco could beat them both.
Ooh.
So Bosco ran as a Republican with the campaign slogan, "A bone in every dish, a cat in every tree, and a fire hydrant on every corner."
And treats for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, no, that wouldn't be very Republican of him.
No, definitely not. I like the one that I said earlier that was like the bitch that gets shit done. What did I say?
Yeah.
Oh, the bitch you can count on.
The bitch you can count on.
Okay. So that was his slogan. Bosco's unconventional platform suited Sunol's eccentricities. Apparently everyone in town is just like a little bit off.
You don't say.
Honest Paul, off.
Wolf, off.
Longtime resident Dave Rogers, which is Lieber and Bosco's landlord for a time, remembers the election well. He said, quote, "Everyone knew Bosco, so he just became a write-in candidate and he won all the votes. It was pretty much a landslide. He was the best mayor we ever had."
He thought about running as a Libertarian, but decided to run as a Republican instead.
No.
We need a Democrat in here
We do need a Democrat.
to clean shit up.
Holy shit, a Libertarian. Okay. So Bosco would wander the town, frequenting the Sunol Lounge. Jesus. The Sunol Lounge and Lions Brewery Depot. So he just bar hop all day.
I love that for him.
His owner
I love
said,
a bar dog.
quote, "He was a fun-loving dog. He'd come home haggard like he was out all day. He was pretty much the town's dog." Though taverns were his favorite haunts, by all accounts, Bosco was a sober politician, making his daily rounds for the free food and companionship.
Yeah, he's not drinking.
No.
Everybody calm down.
So because everyone in this town is like a little bit weird and it's such a small town and they have a dog for a mayor, like some news outlets started picking up the story.
Yeah.
And they
China was not into it.
No, it wasn't long before the spotlight became an international incident. In 1990, China's People's Daily newspaper ran an editorial attacking Bosco's election as proof that in Western democracy, quote, "there is no distinction between people and dogs."
You know, they're not that far off.
No, but like, people are just having some fun.
Yeah, let's
China's like, this is pathetic.
Let's take a stand on something a little bit more important.
Human rights violations.
Yeah, and the dog mayor, the fake mayor that is a dog.
Like, wasn't Tiananmen Square around this time?
Yanks collar.
Ooh. So in response, a group of Chinese students, like, who were in school in that area, they wanted to adopt Bosco and take him to the Chinese consulate in San Francisco as a mascot for freedom.
Save him! Save Bosco! Save Bandit!
So his owner agreed, and Bosco and the students piled into an El Camino and drove to the consulate holding a pro-democracy rally with the dog in tow.
Oh my God! Hey, get people interested in voting.
But
However, by any means necessary.
But they were Chinese students, so it sounds like they were they were doing this in Chinese. So
Nobody knows what the fuck.
So the owner said, I don't know what they were saying. I can only imagine. I don't know if he changed the world or anything, but he became a symbol for democracy.
Oh, Bosco.
I'm sure they were doing their shit in English, at least as well.
Probably.
But he was like, I don't know what they were saying, but apparently he's a symbol for democracy around
I kind
the
of
world.
love if they just did the whole thing in Chinese, though. No translator. Fuck all y'all.
Well, we aren't their audience.
No.
The Chinese are their audience.
Correct.
So whenever Bosco went missing, as he occasionally did, the search resembled a manhunt. But his owner was never too concerned. Bosco habitually followed folks wherever they went. And then there were his multiple trysts. Quote, there used to be a joke that he was related to every dog in town. He's a little slut, too. And a symbol of democracy.
You can't have men in politics without some affairs.
Oh, no. He
Tale
was
as old as
sober. What
time.
else is he going to do?
Oh my god, I just choked on my own spit laughing. Ugh.
After 15 years as unofficial mayor, Bosco's health gave out and his owner was forced to have him euthanized in 1994. So this is the picture that you're looking at.
Yeah, like that's a dead dog. I thought it maybe was a stuffed dog.
It's not a actual stuffed dog, but it's like a stuffed replica of him at a bar called Bosco's Beer and Brew. I don't know why they have beer and brew, but whatever. It's actually a beer tap. So the bartender lifts his back leg and he pees out your beer.
Ew! Oh my god!
I know.
Absolutely the fuck not. No. You know what? Quirkiness has limits.
No.
Yeah.
I love it. That would get me to drink a beer.
The next time we're in San Francisco, we'll go get our Mai Tais and then... Or wait, no, where is this? Is this in San Francisco? Outside San Francisco?
It's called Sunol. Let me Google it. Sunol,
See how far a walk is it?
Sunol, California to Chinatown, San Francisco. Okay. If we were walking, it would take us 13 hours and 33 minutes. And we shouldn't be driving, so let's plan on walking.
Yeah, not bad. We can do that. We can bang that out.
I think a 13 and a half hour walk would sober me up from one Mai Tai at Lipo.
Oh, those Mai Tais are amazing.
They're so good.
I love Lipo. Well, next time we'll go to Lipo and then we'll get a dog piss beer, I guess.
Perfect. So, of course, it's not only dogs who can be mayor. As I've mentioned, we've talked about wolves and hedgehogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
We've also talked previously, I think, on a GAC episode about Stubbs the cat.
Yes.
Who was the honorary mayor of Talkeetna, Alaska for 10 years.
Yeah. I want to see more lizard representation, fish representation.
Fish.
I think there has been a goldfish mayor.
Cute. Not for very long. Stubbs didn't have a tail, but he did have 9 lives. Because one time he fell into the deep fryer at a restaurant.
Oh my God.
It wasn't turned on, but like still.
Oh. First of all, why was he back there?
Oh, he ran the whole town. He went wherever he wanted. He
That's
lived in a
insane.
shop. He was the mayor. He went. He was probably doing a health inspection.
I hope so. He's doing his job, and they clearly failed. If it was that easy for him to fall into the deep fryer,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
God.
That's a violation for sure. Stubbs drank his water out of either a wine glass or a margarita glass every day. He was fancy.
Mm.
And he lived until he was 20 years old.
Amazing.
So when I was looking at animal mayors, I found this incredible article. There's nothing to change. This is the most perfect news article I've ever seen. And it has an accompanying video. So I took some screenshots like of the video.
Okay.
But also I'll explain like the scene, but they basically track the candidate on this day and they have like the and it's the most absurd thing. It's so good. Okay. So this is from USA Today. It is a 2019 article. And no, I did check. We have not covered this in GAC before.
Okay. Because it's easily something we could have.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Here's the headline. Lincoln the Goat, sworn in as Vermont town's new mayor, immediately defecates.
The pellets.
The pellets.
Ew. Okay, I said I wanted more representation. We've got goat now.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have
my
a
God.
sassy goat. If you haven't heard, Fairhaven has just elected its first mayor, a 3-year-old Nubian goat named Lincoln. On Tuesday, she had to be sworn in. The first problem, the mayor-elect didn't want to come out from her field.
Well, can you blame her? God.
Then there was the issue of getting her loaded into a cage in the back of a pickup truck. This is the hard part, said Chris Stanton. Then he asked his wife to grab the mayor-elect's head. She did so. He crouched down and scooped up the newly elected goat and gingerly stuffed her into the cage without too much fuss. The mayor-elect
is awful.
The mayor-elect seemed pleased to find dinner waiting in the cage.
That helps.
Then Chris and his wife Sally hopped in the truck and drove Lincoln into town. All the while, she called out to her constituents, bleeding out at the stop sign by the Stewart's shop and chiming in more as the truck drove through town with a few news crews in tow.
Oh, God.
When I said bleeding out, I meant bleat.
Yeah, bleat.
Bleat. Yeah.
Bat. Bat.
Bleating out.
Blat.
Blat. Waiting at the Fairhaven town offices was town clerk Suzanne Deschamps, who is also the town treasurer, along with the select board to administer the oath of office. Police Chief Bill Humphreys held the door when the goat arrived.
Oh, my God.
Chair Bob Richards wore a wry smile as the goat, wearing a sash with the word mayor sewn on it in white felt, entered the small conference room to the applause of more than a dozen assembled there.
There are dozens of us.
More than a dozen.
Okay. There are 13 of us.
Yeah. He then offered a wink to 4-year-old Sullivan Clark, Chris Stanton's grandson, whose nomination of Lincoln was about to become election history.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I saw in the video, there was a little card and it said, like, you're electing, or that was like the reason for electing Lincoln the goat as the mayor. And the little boy just said, she is a good goat.
That's so cute.
I know. But then came the second problem. How does a goat sign the necessary paperwork?
Oh, no.
Deschamps had thought ahead. She produced an ink pad that Mayor-elect Lincoln reluctantly stepped on with her right front hoof.
Oh, my God.
She then made her signature by stomping on the paper, and it was done.
Okay, I'm looking at the pictures. It's amazing. But the ink is blood red.
Yeah.
It looks like a bloody hoof print.
I know. It's really Black Phillip. It's giving Black Phillip.
So gross. I love it.
With that, on Tuesday night, March 12th, just before 7 p.m., the small Vermont town officially swore in a goat as mayor. The vote had been a close one.
The goat vote.
The goat vote. Town manager Joe Gunter came up with the idea as a way to raise money for a school playground.
Wow.
Kids throughout the town were allowed to vote for a modest $5 fee to nominate an animal of their choice for the position of mayor. All told, more than a dozen made the run for office. Even a...
What? Oh, no.
I forgot about this. Even a dog named Stella who liked to suck a baby pacifier.
What?
That's the only mention of it, and then it's over.
There's no more explanation for that. What the fuck? What a weird fact to include about Stella.
Vote for Stella. She likes to suck
a baby pacifier. Okay.
Some in town are not convinced that voters made the right choice.
Oh, polarizing.
One municipal employee joked, "It's been bad so far." She refused to be identified for fear of retaliation with the new administration.
You don't want to fuck with that Lincoln the Goat.
No, don't want to butt heads with Lincoln.
Ah!
But on town meeting day, Lincoln the Goat was the clear winner, beating out the pack or herd with 13 votes.
Wow.
Oh, she got 13 whole votes. And although the swearing in was a success, within minutes of assuming office, the police chief was already dealing with the mayor's first mess. He grabbed a broom and dustpan after her goatness couldn't wait for the bathroom.
The pellets! Ew, they're everywhere,
That's
too.
the police chief has to sweep that shit up.
Yes, girl. Yes. Shit, making full eye contact with the police chief and then make him clean it up.
Yeah.
Our
And you know,
move.
goat butts, they just like open and the poop just falls out. It's the grossest pooping in the whole animal kingdom.
It's not great. I wouldn't say it's the grossest. I've seen some hippo diarrhea. That's pretty gnarly.
Ugh. It's just gross. It opens like a garage door. Their assholes are huge.
They are expandable.
Ugh. Just poop slower. It doesn't have to be such a show.
No, they have way too much. One little pellet at a time. Absolutely not. That would take
It doesn't
forever.
have to be a waterfall.
Well, I think their
Anyway.
digestion would say it does.
I hate it.
I'm sorry.
Quote, note the crap, joked Mark Gutel, owner of local coffee shop Kinder Way. Oh, probably Kinder Way Cafe.
No, it's
just
Kinder
like
Way.
it's just like any other meeting.
A bunch of shit. A bunch of
Note
goat
the
shit.
crap. Nothing's changed.
Oh my God. They're so disenfranchised here. It's amazing.
But all agreed that the mess was worth the trouble if it helped fund the town's playground.
Yeah.
So Chris Stanton, who teaches in town, the owner, says they plan to hold an election every year as both a fundraiser and a civics lesson for kids.
Cute.
Although it might also be a lesson in waste management.
Yeah, become a cop. You can clean up a bunch of shit.
Oh my God. I love that it was the police chief.
That is my favorite part of the
I
whole
know,
story.
no one helped.
No one.
That
He's
one
got
picture,
this.
this poop all around that man's foot.
He's got, what, half the city budget. He can fucking clean the shit up.
True. Yeah, I forgot that footprint is just, it looks violent.
Oh, it's so scary looking.
I'm gonna need you to watch the video, though, at some point.
Done.
Perfect. Well, that is my segment. Oh,
Wow.
that picture of Max. He's at a documentary screening at their local theater.
You have to support the local arts.
You do.
I
Wearing his
love
cowboy
it.
hat.
Idlewild Film Festival, Tuesday to Saturday. God bless him.
Okay, well, that
I
was fun.
loved that. Oh my God. I love Mayor Lincoln the Goat
I know.
so
She's
much.
so crabby.
She's a fucking goat.
Yeah,
All goats are just like angry.
I know.
Or at
Because
least
they have
they
such
look it.
huge assholes, probably.
That would be hard to live with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. All right. Well, weird of me to say that. Good job.
Let's take a quick break. A quick break.
Let's cut to commercial, please, for the love of God, so I can get my shit together.
Start fresh a little bit. Clean slate. All right, here we go. We'll be right back.
You know, my least favorite fun fact is that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat.
I can't.
Baby, you want to sleep on a toilet seat? Because I sure don't. It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's gross. No thank you. So Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth and require up to 3 times less laundry.
I'm always down for less laundry. These sheets are self-cleaning because they're infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other more traditional sheets. So they're not going to smell like a boys' college apartment.
Yup.
They're also temperature regulating. This silver-infused fabric, which was inspired by NASA, by the way.
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM. These Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather. If it's cold outside, they're going to keep you warm. If it's hot outside, they're going to keep you cool. So you're going to get better sleep every single night. These sheets are designed for your skin. Stop sleeping on the toilet seat bacteria.
Yeah.
Like Amanda said, bacteria can clog your pores, cause breakouts, acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. These sheets are also luxuriously comfortable without that high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels.
So upgrade your sleep as the weather heats up. Go to trymiracle.com/gals to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code GALS at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/gals and use the code GALS to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/gals to treat yourself. And thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack sponsor. IQ Bar is the better-for-you plant protein-based snacks made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash. This is honestly so huge for me. You know I'm a type 1 diabetic girly, and I really struggle with what to eat for breakfast. This has made that so easy. I can just reach for one of these bars. It's going to fill me up and give me the energy I need for the morning without, ruining my numbers for the whole day. IQ Bar's plant protein bars are packed with high-quality ingredients to help keep you physically and mentally fit. They're also totally free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners for a natural anytime snack. And they have the best flavors, including mint chocolate chip, chocolate sea salt, banana nut, toasted coconut chip, which is moving up the list as one of my favorites, my old standby lemon blueberry, she's my girl, and of course, peanut butter chip.
That chocolate sea salt, ooh, I'm thinking about it the night before.
Mm-hmm. Lay it out like cookies for Santa.
Basically.
But it's for you, girl.
With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are starting their days on the right foot with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees.
Yum.
And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, text GALS to 64,000. Text GALS to 64,000. That's GALS to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. In the world of true crime, bad habits usually lead to bad outcomes. It's you can tell the bad guy based on what they're doing. But in real life, it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Fume comes in. Fume is a flavored air device. It's not a vape, and it's definitely not a pipe, that gives you a fresh way to take control of your habits with flavors like crisp mint, black licorice, and peach blush. It's the smarter, guilt-free alternative.
I'm a big fan of the peach blush. You know, I like my sweet flavors, but that's not even the best part for me about using Fume. I really like the style and design of the actual device, because it also doubles as kind of a little fidget. You can play with it in your hand. And like you said, it's just flavored air. It doesn't have any of the other junky stuff in it that's gonna, maybe give you a little bit of a bad time. So it's just a really nice alternative that you can reach for. And Fume has already helped over 400,000 people take steps toward better habits. And now it's your turn. Use our code GALS to get a free gift with your journey pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's TRYFUM.com and use code GALS to claim this limited time offer today. Okay, here we go. Today, per our fan picker suggestion, I am focusing on a figure who dominated headlines and sparked considerable controversy. And it makes sense that she would recommend this, because this happened in Chicago, or just outside of Chicago. So this is probably all over the news for Angelina, I would imagine. So this is a woman who sparked considerable controversy in the predominantly black village of Dalton and Thornton Township, Illinois. And the woman's name is Tiffany Henyard. I did not know about any of this.
I've never heard that name in my life.
I feel like when you live in other states, you just don't get like juicy mayoral news from other places unless they were like going for a higher level seat in government or like, you know, going for even a governor run. We just don't hear about each other's mayors that much.
Yeah.
Her
Agreed.
tenure as Democratic mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township was marked by scandal and a slew of negative headlines. Tiffany Henyard's political career began on the Dalton Village Board of Trustees, where she served 2 terms from 2013 to 2021. She was first elected as a trustee in 2013 and then reelected in 2017. During this time, she was a critic of the then incumbent mayor, Riley Rogers. She even joined other trustees in legal challenges against ballot measures that were championed by Rogers. So, like, wasn't happy with things that he had passed, certainly in line with the budget.
Stuff.
Yeah, trying to undo some stuff that Mayor Rogers had passed.
Okay.
As a trustee, she initiated the, quote, block by block program to help people purchase vacant houses. However, even as a trustee in this like smaller role in government, kind of her first role in government, she faced scrutiny, including reports in 2019 by CBS 2 Chicago about a Section 8 rental property that she owned and rented out that had severe mold issues and was deemed uninhabitable.
Ugh.
Yet she allegedly continued to receive subsidies.
Oh, okay.
So that definitely paints a picture of how things are going to go as she progresses in politics.
Okay.
From the beginning, allocation of funds that Henyard was receiving or managing was a bit sus, to say the least.
People cannot be trusted with a checkbook. Honestly, that's the conclusion that I'm coming to.
It's tough to be in control of that much money and not see the potential for gain.
Yeah,
I'd have a hard
I just
time.
don't feel like don't steal. Also, you're definitely going to get caught.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I do feel like it's specifically like that extra layer of harm. I mean, if you're working for a corporation, baby, skim off the top. If you don't get caught, good for you. Like, whatever. But when you're working...
This isn't that, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you're working in like government where these budgets are meant to serve your constituents, people are going to be upset. And that is precisely what happens here.
Yeah.
So Henyard ran for mayor of Dalton in 2021, criticizing Mayor Riley Rogers' time in office. She defeated Rogers in the Democratic primary and went on to win the general election with approximately 82% of the vote against an independent candidate. So Mayor Rogers was also a Democrat, but she beat him in the Democratic primary so that she could run for the seat. And either Republicans barely stand a chance in this area or the only other person that ran happened to be an independent, but she got the vote. Literally by a landslide.
I just have to tell you something.
What?
Remember I told you I went to the movie the other day?
Yes.
I got a bunch of crunches.
Oh!
And so now I'm eating some, but I just dumped some out. It looks like their poop's falling out of a goat's asshole.
Yeah, talk about the only thing that you could have gotten that would be like, oh, that's real bad. That's
They're
real bad. I was
lumpy,
gonna say
too.
maybe Milk Duds would look even more like, no,
That looks
that's
like a...
that's literal goat shit. God, what I wouldn't give to be eating a bunch of crunches right now.
They're so good.
So good. I want movie snacks without having to go to the movies.
What do you mean without
Oh wait,
having
I could
to
buy
go to a
them
movie?
and have them at home. Well, yeah, but not having to go to a movie. I love going to the movies, but there's not really anything in theaters that I'm itching to see right now, and it's expensive to go to the movies.
Friendship.
I know, but I think I'm gonna wait for it to stream, and then I'll get movie snacks.
Okay.
I'll go to my local theater and just get snacks from the concession stand. My local like single screen theater, they have like the best popcorn too. I bet they'd
Yeah.
let me just buy treats and leave.
That's where we saw the movie.
Yeah, the best.
Support local. Support
Seriously,
local popcorn.
find your local theater. It is such a fun experience, and it's so much less expensive than going to a big conglomerate movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to this mayor. She was sworn in on May 8th, 2021, becoming both the first female and the youngest mayor in the village's history at age 37. She also ran with a slate called The Dream Team, and 2 trustee candidates and the village clerk candidate from this slate were all elected, including a man named Jason House, who he will be important later. Her influence expanded when, following the death of longtime Thornton Township supervisor Frank Zuccarelli, Tiffany Henyard, excuse me.
That sounds like a delicious dish.
I know, it really does. I could go for some zuccarelli right now.
Ugh.
Tiffany Henyard was appointed and sworn in as the supervisor. So, okay, she gets elected mayor, okay? And so she's sitting as mayor of Dalton. But the township, I guess, in which Dalton either is or is adjacent to has a supervisor, which is kind of like a mini mayor.
Uh-huh.
It's a leadership position for a small township, and that guy died. And she was appointed to take over his role as Thornton Township supervisor on March 3rd, 2022. She was appointed by the Thornton Township Board shortly before a legal deadline. They were like, "Oh shit, we got to get this position filled." They're like, "Oh, okay, Tiffany can do it."
Step on this ink pad.
Yeah, pretty much. And she was one of the last of 9 nominations considered. So of 9 candidates, they seemed to be the most, enthused about her stepping into the position. Bing, bang, boom.
Great.
She's the supervisor of Thornton Township. This is one of the largest townships in Illinois, comprising of 17 communities, including Dalton. Okay, so she's mayor of Dalton, and now she's also township supervisor. Dalton is in Thornton Township. We don't have townships that are really recognized in Minnesota. They're big in like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, a lot of East Coast states, and I guess in Illinois. So I don't really know like what all that entails because what the fuck is a township? But whatever.
Who knows? There's no way to know.
With this appointment, Henyard became the youngest person, the first woman, and the first African-American supervisor of Thornton Township. So this was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Both her mayoral win, but also her being appointed to this position were pretty historical for that area.
Yeah, it's important.
But almost immediately, Tiffany Henyard's tenure in both roles became marked by significant controversy, largely centered on allegations of financial mismanagement, corruption, and a contentious relationship with the Dalton Village Board of Trustees.
Well, that's not great.
Not great. One of the most prominent issues was the village's finances. Trustees accused her of using municipal funds without proper approval and expressed concern about the village's debt and inability to meet financial obligations. So like, upkeep for parks, infrastructure, like all these things are in this deficit now.
Running a township is expensive.
It's expensive. And this township has 17 little towns in it. So it's like a lot. An investigation led by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, hired by the Dalton trustees. They were like, this is so shady. We need to get like the top dogs in here to look at this. Mm-hmm. And that investigation did indeed reveal stark financial issues. Lightfoot found that the village's general fund balance plummeted from $5.6 million surplus when she took office in April 2022 to a $3.6 million deficit.
The fuck?
By May of 2024, toward the end of her term.
No.
Not looking good. Credit card charges alone amounted to more than $779,000 in 2023. The village also owed vendors an estimated $5 million for probably like events or other things that had, been scheduled throughout the term that the city never paid.
Yeah.
Lightfoot's report also stated that Henyard mismanaged finances through excessive spending, hid financial information, and skirted transparency efforts. This is one of my favorites because it reminded me of Icetown. Examples included spending more than $50,000 on ice skates and artificial ice tiles for a winter ice rink, which allegedly violated the city's and the board's purchasing policy. You can't just go buy an ice rink.
No.
Without
it is Icetown.
Without like approval from like the parks board and the community that wants to fund it. Like you can't.
Yeah, that's not really your.
That.
Yeah.
It's very Icetown. Henyard's use of a police security detail also drew criticism, with reports indicating it cost the village hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, reaching approximately $1 million by February of 2024.
Jesus.
Trustees characterized this as redirecting resources away from the people of Dalton. And I understand that. That is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Amidst these financial concerns, federal authorities also became involved. So they literally tapped in the feds because they were like, we don't know how deep this goes. In April of 2024, the FBI served subpoenas at Dalton Village Hall amid allegations of corruption against local officials. But Henyard was not served at that time. I think they were starting to look into her, but they didn't have enough to actually serve her in that moment. But they like went to a town hall meeting and started serving members of like the board of trustees that were also in on this, or allegedly in on this mismanagement of funds.
But people like use other people to kind of pad them against that kind of stuff. So
absolutely.
In the end, it's her, but they don't, there's enough people that they need to kind of get first.
For sure. The federal investigation later expanded into Thornton Township. So first they were looking at like just Dalton and what was going on with Dalton spending. But then when they expanded their investigation into the big Thornton Township that she was supervisor of, they were like, oh, geez, we're finding stuff. So sources told CBS News Chicago in April of 2025 that the FBI was looking into how taxpayer money was handled in the township and had talked to current and past township employees about financial spending during Henyard's tenure.
Henyard's tenure.
Say that 10 times fast. And she had given an interview after fairly recently, basically being like, well, you know, not everybody knows what their employer or employees are spending money on. Like, what are they talking about? Which I thought was kind of funny. I'm like, that's not a great defense, but okay. I hear what you're saying.
Also, like, who's in charge if it's not you?
I know.
The fuck are you talking about?
I know. Another subpoena was served at the village in February of 2025, tied to a land development reportedly linked to land once owned by Henyard's boyfriend. So at this point, what it's looking like is the investigation into mismanagement of funds is ongoing, but they're like trying to charge her with something to get access to more information through a formal investigation.
Oh my God.
So like, okay, your boyfriend who's tied to you and is also like working in this office has this like weird real estate thing. She had this weird Section 8 housing rental thing. Let's see if we can, at least we can subpoena them for that and see if we can get more information.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of this is still like ongoing because this is this year. This is just a few months ago that most of this came out. So I don't have
these kinds of cases take for fucking ever.
Forever. So I don't have a lot of solid information about where these investigations are now. I'm just sharing what has been shared in the media at this point. Henyard's relationship with the Dalton Village Board of Trustees was often described as contentious. Trustees criticized her use of funds and lack of transparency. Early in her term, the board filed a lawsuit against her alleging conflicts of interest. Henyard responded by accusing trustees of causing upheaval and at times locked them out of offices or canceled meetings. So I think things were really, really hot in that building for a while.
Not a fun workplace.
Everyone's mad at each other. The board of trustees, they have investigations. They're blaming her. She's blaming them. It's a whole mess. There's no trust among trustees.
Apparently not.
And there's no trust between the board and her anymore. The trustees often held meetings without her present and also censured her in October of 2021.
Oh, damn.
In February of 2024, the board adopted a resolution calling for investigations into Henyard by state and federal authorities, and she vetoed that. Because she's the mayor, but the veto was overridden in April, because that is still possible. Keep that in mind, big government.
Yeah.
Show up and fucking do something.
Jesus.
The conflict extended to the budget, with trustees overriding her veto of budget cuts in February of 2024, which Henyard claimed would bankrupt the village if they overrode this. Beyond financial matters, numerous allegations of retaliation and civil rights violations were leveled against Henyard as well.
Oh my God.
Village residents, employees, and business owners accused her of using her position to target perceived political opposition. This allegedly included using the police force to harass businesses that didn't support her and extorting campaign contributions.
Oh no.
She was also accused of firing employees for political reasons, or if they push back against her policies or what she was saying in meetings, or, it seemed like she was trying to kind of distance herself and clean house and potentially intimidate opposition because
all
she
at the same time.
Yeah, because she knew things were not moving in a good direction and wanted to keep her position, but it didn't really work out. Not gonna lie, did not work out.
Mm-mm.
These accusations are still considered alleged. We also have to, note that she is a Black woman. It's harder to decipher what accusations are legitimate and what accusations are sensationalized in the media. I wouldn't say that accusations thrown against her are necessarily rooted in racism because so many of her colleagues and the vast majority of her constituents are Black. So many of the people that are elected to this specific area's government are Black people. They're Black people who live in that community. They're Black people who have grown up, with it's their neighbors that they're essentially voting for.
Their community.
So I'm not saying that she was necessarily a victim of racism, like from her constituents, but we certainly know how the media portrays people.
Yeah.
So we have to hold that as well. And obviously, people of color, just like white people, more often white people, can get wrapped up in corruption and crime. But like, if we look at political scandals throughout history and our fucking current president, there's obviously a clear discrepancy in how the media treats scandals with a white person at the center and scandals with a person of color at the center. So it's just important to like note that. We're not saying she didn't do anything wrong, because she did.
She definitely did.
But how it's presented to the media can have blatant bias and discrepancies.
It's all very nuanced. It's not one thing or the other.
It is not. Henyard reportedly compared herself to civil rights activist Rosa Parks.
Oh, no.
Saying she would not give up her mayoral seat to political opponents.
Oh.
Kind of a lot. A bit much.
A lot.
Her attorney, Bo Brindley, or Brindley, has referred to the efforts against her as a smear campaign and stated she was, quote, under attack by a corrupt board of trustees. So it's very much like two entities, two people, one person and one board trying to put the blame on each other to avoid. And there's probably blame to share, I would imagine.
I don't think anyone's hands are necessarily clean in this because
she certainly had access.
The system allowed for it in the first place.
Right. She certainly had access to funds and like lines of credit that were meant for the city that maybe she could have tapped into without approval. But I also I'm curious what this investigation will unfold in terms of the role of any members of the board and potentially assisting with some of this spending. Because I feel like it would be hard for a mayor, especially of like a decent sized township or city, to just start making
just walk away with millions of dollars.
Yeah, go from a $5.6 million surplus to an over $3 million deficit in the span of,
a couple years.
That's without
wild.
Anyone else's hands on it.
That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is fucked.
It's very strange. And I'm curious how this is going to go.
Yeah. Well, now I'll be following this hyper local.
Yeah, I want to know.
Kind of obscurely like civic something. Yeah.
It's and it's pretty powerful to refer to yourself as Rosa Parks, and the evidence of financial mismanagement would not super support that statement.
Probably not.
Yep. And like I said, the constituents of Dalton who are predominantly Black are totally within their right to scrutinize spending by their own elected government, especially considering the fact that Black communities are often systemically underserved and under-resourced.
Yeah.
So, like, I have to imagine many constituents felt betrayed by the actions of their mayor and their government. And that certainly was, like, made evident in the next election, which we're about to get to.
Oh, God.
So, with all that said, the allegations against Henyard were bountiful. Several lawsuits were filed against her and the governmental bodies that she oversaw. So people really were like, it can't just be her. More than just her are responsible, but like, y'all are responsible.
Mm-hmm.
In March of 2024, the Illinois Department of Human Rights was investigating allegations from Henyard's former assistant, who claimed she was sexually assaulted by a village trustee, later identified in other sources as a man named Andrew Holmes, during an event that's also being investigated, a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas.
What the fuck?
Yep. And the person making these allegations, the person who brought this suit, is also claiming that Henyard retaliated against her for reporting this assault. Because then, people would look closer at like, okay, well, why were you in Las Vegas? And with all of these people that work together and like, so it would have, I can picture the person in charge not wanting somebody to speak out, even about something as awful as an assault.
Absolutely.
Because they had a taxpayer funded trip to Vegas that they don't want people to find out about. This is where what you were saying at the top of like, political corruption is so easy, I feel like, to get wrapped up in. And like, you can't trust anybody with a checkbook.
Just don't steal.
I know.
Apparently that's asking too much.
It's apparently tough. A police officer who was part of Henyard's security detail and reported the alleged assault was demoted and also filed a lawsuit. So this officer that was part of her detail helped the victim of the assault file this report, and Henyard demoted that officer in retaliation. And so this officer is also filing suit against her because they deemed that was just another way that she was like overreaching her power to silence what was going on to protect the Vegas trip.
God.
Former police chief Robert Collins, one of Henyard's initial hires, sued her alleging wrongful termination because she believed that Robert Collins' wife was a political adversary. A Dalton church sued the village and Tiffany Henyard, alleging discrimination related to zoning and renovation. A candidate who had lost a trustee election sued Henyard and her campaign committee for libel and defamation, also alleging wrongful termination from a village job.
Wow.
Again, I don't know the legitimacy of every allegation and suit against her. Obviously, I believe women. I believe that this person tracks that this person got assaulted and that they wanted that assault quiet because of the Vegas trip. Yeah. What I'm saying is she got a lot of allegations thrown against her. I don't know if every single one of them was legitimate. And there are clear issues in her governance and management of funds, and these were revealed publicly, and the floodgates certainly seemed to open, and like anyone who was wronged or perceived to have been wronged by her was coming out of the woodwork. So again, I don't know if all of like the church or the defamation or, what claims that she was trying to take out political opponents, things like that. I don't know if that's true. This is just shit that people were saying. And there's always going to be people who want to get in on the feeding frenzy and like want a piece of the pie, but that doesn't mean that these things didn't happen. It just means that I don't know. So her tenure in Thornton Township saw its share of drama, not just her mayor tenure,
downfall.
but her supervisor tenure for Thornton.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, because she's also doing that job.
I fucking forgot about that.
Right? A township board meeting in January of 2025 ended in a brawl after a frequent critic called Henyard a bitch, which, like, not cool.
Oh, no.
And Henyard's boyfriend confronted him and punched him, which is also kind of a storyline in Parks and Recreation, so you really need to watch it.
Oh, my God.
Leading to a physical altercation that then Tiffany Henyard allegedly jumped in and joined.
Oh, Lord.
Jedediah Brown, the person who called her a bitch, and another plaintiff later sued Henyard, sued the township, and sued others involved, alleging intimidation and assault for political speech and claiming that police and security failed to maintain peace.
Well, he's got a point.
He does have a point. Don't call anyone a bitch, but also let's not all hit each other either.
Yeah.
I think that there are decisions that could have been made better on multiple people's parts here.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, an angry and frustrated constituent who is rightfully mad that the financial mess that their town is in is sitting right in front of them at an open forum meeting. And then when they want to shut down what you have to say, sometimes you might call somebody a bitch.
Yeah. Also, like kind of how we've talked about, God forbid we expect police officers to have a higher moral standard than the average. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same is true for politicians. Like, why are you in politics if you can't handle someone calling you a bitch to your face?
I mean, for sure. I think that a lot of people...
Not that it's right.
No, it's not right. I unfortunately think that a big part of the problem with American democracy is that a lot of people go into politics maybe saying that it's about serving the people, but it's more about personal gain and political power and clout.
So it gets almost exclusively about that these days.
And even if it doesn't start that way, I think the system is so built to allow for shit like this to happen that it's very easy to be corrupted by the system because it's like, this is how fucking everybody else is getting shit done.
Exactly.
You know, so why shouldn't I get mine? Like, part of the reason why I would never go near politics is because I'm way too attention hungry and I would totally not be trusted. Do not vote for me. I have good intentions, but I'm easily corruptible. Do not
vote for me for Mouth Congress.
Please. Well, only for Mouth Congress. That's the only chair I can serve.
That's true.
Henyard's attorney called these lawsuits frivolous and an attempt for social media publicity, claiming the plaintiffs initiated the fight. Henyard's domestic partner, Kamal Woods, the guy who punched Jedediah Brown after Jedediah Brown called her a bitch, identified in sources as her boyfriend was reportedly a township employee at the time of the brawl. So that's like how he was. He was probably like sitting on the board or whatever. And this happened and he was able
in
to,
the room in a professional capacity
literally,
when he confronted the heckler.
So it's like, the good news is I was able to get there first. But the bad news is I'm the one who hit Meredith with my car. Financial practices in the township faced a lot of scrutiny, obviously. Henyard claims she inherited a problematic financial situation with, quote, ghost employees and a $5 million budget deficit, which she asserted that she had been addressing throughout her...
It was the surplus.
Yeah.
The $5 million was the surplus. What are you talking about?
I think we're all just saying anything we can say to try and not get punched at a town hall meeting. She proposed a controversial action involving decreasing the supervisor's annual salaries from $224,000 a year. So this is the salary of the person appointed to that township supervisor position that she was holding simultaneously while mayor. So this is the amount of money that she was making. And she wanted to change that only for future supervisors, not for herself, to $22,400. She was making $224,000.
She wanted to cut the salary for the position she was holding for future holders by $200,000.
Correct.
This lady is nuts.
That was a bold move, and this was a move that political opponents called illegal and an attempt to dissuade challengers, which it would. Who's going to want to run for your spot if they're only going to make $22,000 a year doing it?
Unfucking believable.
And then you can hold your spot longer at $224,000 because no one else wants to oppose you for a pittance. It's kind of genius.
But as long as you're sitting in that seat,
you make the money.
That's the salary that you get.
Correct.
You're grandfathered in.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to say instead of that?
Legacied.
We're legacied in.
Mm-hmm. The township board also twice put a proposed 0.15% property tax for mental health services on the ballot, but voters rejected it both times, mostly due to concerns from other mayors about a lack of detail on how those funds would be spent. So on paper, yeah, it's great to think of a budget allocation from the taxpayer to help with mental health services. But if you don't actually know where that money is going and you've been living under a pretty corrupt financial situation for the entirety of this term, I don't think I would want to vote for that either. I don't know if I'd be wanting to vote on any budget changes until a new person was in office. So I totally understand that from a constituent standpoint.
Yeah.
Adding to the controversies was Henyard's nonprofit organization, Tiffany Henyard Cares, which stated its mission. Oh my God. I know, it never ends. Which stated its mission was to assist individuals with cancer. The nonprofit was heavily promoted on her government websites and social media. Investigations alleged misuse of taxpayer funds related to the charity, including spending on a group bicycle ride when the legislature wasn't in session and hotels for a protest trip.
What are you talking about? This is so vague, too.
I know.
Tiffany Henyard Cares. We help people with cancer.
Yep. But how?
What are you talking about?
I know. In January 2024, the Illinois Attorney General's office ordered the charity to stop soliciting donations because it had not filed required financial reports and was not in good standing. So they probably didn't have, they're like 501c3 or whatever. You need like specific licensing for nonprofits. You can't just
beg people for money for your charity where you help people with cancer.
I mean, you can, but you can't do that and still get the tax benefits and like allocated state funding if you're not a registered nonprofit. And to be a registered nonprofit, to get that, you know, dictation or whatever you need, you have to provide financial records and show exactly where that money is going. So you can then get state grants and all kinds of approval and like tax stuff, whatever. So I don't know what that money was being used for.
You can't just call yourself a nonprofit and like accept donations.
You cannot call yourself a nonprofit. No. That if you're not actually one, that will get you in some trouble. So they were like, you're going to have to shut this down because this isn't real. A later filing revealed...
I declare bankruptcy.
I didn't say it. I declared it. A later filing revealed that nearly all of the nonprofit's funding came from township and village taxpayer money.
Jesus Christ.
So it's very possible that funds were being misallocated and reallocated from the township and Dalton taxpayer collection into her nonprofit.
Cool. Great.
By March of 2024, Henyard reportedly attempted to distance herself from the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, which I don't know how Tiffany Henyard is going to distance herself from Tiffany Henyard Cares, but I appreciate the attempt. Facing intense scrutiny, federal investigations, lawsuits, and political opposition, Tiffany Henyard sought re-election as Dalton mayor in 2025.
Babe.
Went for it.
Wow. That is a level of delusion that I admire.
I'm kind of here for it. She also spoke out about the allegations, saying, quote, I understand everyone wants me to be the target. I understand they want me to be the bad guy for everything that goes on in the village, but that's not the truth. Understand I'm dealing with 30 years of neglect, and being a young mayor, being the first female mayor, I'm under so much scrutiny. However, she was overwhelmingly defeated in the Democratic primary by Dalton trustee Jason House, who was part of the dream team that kind of like got her into office originally, and he was serving as a trustee on the board during Tiffany Henyard's term. So he came up from behind and campaigned on a platform to, quote, clean house. Jason House got a clean house.
I bet there were terse text messages between those two.
I'm sure there were, but there's also a tweet, I think from her re-election. I put a screenshot of it in my folder on the drive, where she's very much trying to be like, this is a smear campaign. It's them who are shitty. So it's for the re-elect Tiffany A. Henyard campaign. It's like a proclamation that says no before you vote, but it also has in like lighter script the word liars, corrupt, evil, backstabbing. She says, quote, I have been attacked physically, emotionally, and mentally by trustees and paid outsiders. Jason House was picked up by the FBI for mismanaged funds while serving as CFO. Phone and computer was seized. Trustees are under investigation for fraudulent usage of PPP loans. FBI subpoenaed records regarding payments to trustees' lawyer. The trustees participated in pay-to-play and kickback schemes, and trustees are backed by former Mayor Riley Rogers. Trustees sold out the village of Dalton for political favors. Trustees walked out of board meetings, costing the village $33.5 million. Not sure where that figure came from.
Well, again, we're just throwing out numbers.
And it also strikes me that a lot of the allegations that she's using in this re-election to throw back on the trustees are only allegations that
she has
are under investigation because of her administration and it's like yeah, okay, their stuff was seized because of an investigation about you. Like, this is brave and I love it.
Connecting the dots.
Yep. So Jason House, he won by a landslide margin, taking nearly 88% of the vote compared to Henyard's 12%.
Yikes.
Voters reportedly were fed up and tired of the negative headlines, toxic village meetings, and Henyard's flamboyant leadership style. That is a quote. Henyard did not show up at her election night party or concede, having hours earlier predicted a landslide victory for herself.
Yes, of course.
Love the confidence, but...
Oh, babe.
You want to believe she saw the writing on the wall at some point. I mean, she did. That's why she didn't want to make a formal concession, but she's not going to show up to the party. She's like, fine, I'm done. I'm out.
Yep.
So she lost the mayoral election, and her tenure as Thornton Township supervisor also came to an end. She was not on the ballot for re-election after losing the Democratic Party caucus for the position to Illinois State Senate Napoleon Harris. Her tenure as supervisor ended in May of 2025, so just this past month.
Oh, no.
Because she was appointed to that role. So once her mayoral term concluded, a new mayor comes in and appoints someone new. So it all ended in that one fell swoop. Henyard was also noted for being a no-show at her final Dalton Village board meeting and the multiple Thornton Township board meetings for months.
God.
On May 5th, 2025, Jason House was officially sworn in as the new mayor of the village of Dalton, making the end of the Tiffany Henyard era, marking the end of the Tiffany Henyard era. Well, House has... Yep. I mean, I'm looking forward to what comes next for Dalton and for the township, Thornton Township.
Yeah, I hope you get a really, really boring mayor that just does their job well and quietly.
Yeah. House has promised more transparency and has stated that audits for the 2023 and 2024 fiscal years will be conducted to address the concerns over financial mismanagement. His campaign also proposed improving park facilities and addressing infrastructure issues and the firefighters contract. Probably all things that weren't being addressed properly because taxpayer money was being misallocated. So
siphoned off. Yeah.
Tiffany Henyard's time in office as mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township was undeniably turbulent. And the future of Dalton and Thornton Township under new leadership remains to be seen. He just got elected last month. So obviously there's calls for greater transparency and accountability already being made. And this community, at the very least, deserves that. They deserve transparency. They deserve accountability. I truly hope that new leadership delivers on that transparency and also brings an era of like recovery for the taxpayer losses they endured. It's hopeful that he's talking about park facilities, infrastructure, firefighters, et cetera, because it sounds like these were some of the concerns that were raised by constituents when they're like, where the fuck is this money going? Now we're in debt. We've got potholes. We've got an underfunded fire department. We don't like our parks look like shit. Like we need our community to be like healthy and safe.
Yep. They need to invest in that.
Yeah. What I hope is that under new leadership, their constituents get exactly that. That's exactly what they deserve to have. So wishing all the best to the Thornton Township and the people of Dalton. And we'll be watching this story as the investigation unfolds because I'm very curious.
Turn on my
what
Google alert.
else might be found. Yeah.
There's got to be some wild shit. I mean, yeah.
You can email us about this.
Yes.
This I want updates on for sure.
Well, damn, Dalton.
Yeah. Well, and damn, Angelina. Thank you for such an awesome episode topic and the suggestions you made for our coverage.
Thank you for the suggestions. I had a lot of fun looking at dog mayors.
Oh my God. The shitting goat is one of the best fucking things I've ever seen. Please.
Eating my bunch of crunches.
Go watch the video. It looks amazing.
So funny.
Cannot wait.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, if you want to listen to this episode and all of our episodes ad-free, join us on Uncorked. You can get more info on our website. Just go to the Uncorked tab.
At wineandcrimepodcast.com.
Yeah. Well, we will see you next week. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Danielle Sylvan. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Editing by Jonathan Camp. Our production manager is Andrea Gardner. For photos, sources, and other resources, head to wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can follow us on all the socials at Wine and Crime Pod. If you'd like to show your support and get access to all sorts of wine-fueled bonus content, check out our premium channel at wineandcrimepodcast.com/uncorked. Cheers!
Marketing is hard. But I'll tell you a little secret. It doesn't have to be. Let me point something out. You're listening to a podcast right now, and it's great. You love the host. You seek it out and download it. You listen to it while driving, working out, cooking, even going to the bathroom. Podcasts are a pretty close companion. And this is a podcast ad. Did I get your attention? You can reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Libsyn Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a pre-produced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience in their favorite podcasts with Libsyn Ads. Go to libsynads.com, that's Libsyn, ads.com today.